morning, guys. You're welcome to Elysian Resort. Today we are having our Elysian Resort Strategic Plan 2021-2026 launch. You're welcome. We hope you will enjoy. We are very excited. Our Bishop is joining us today. We look forward to a bright and beautiful day ahead. And we are really, really excited. We hope that you can join us on our channels, on our YouTube channels at Elysian Resort. On Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, we are at Elysian Resort. You're welcome.
The strategic plan is driven by our core values, whose primary goal is growth and financial sustainability for the Elysian Resort. Clear strategies and detailed activities have been developed to help achieve each of the set strategic goals and objectives. The implementation of the proposed strategies will enhance the institutional capacity of the resort and enable it to build synergy among key players in order to mitigate both external and internal challenges. The implementation will also provide the actual process through which the strategic objectives will be achieved. Through their operations, the functions and departments will translate the strategic objectives into results by developing and implementing departmental annual work plans. I wish to give special thanks to our Bishop and the Board of Management, led by Professor Gideon Maina, for their special interest, guidance, and support during the preparation of the plan. I wish also to thank most sincerely our various stakeholders, the strategic planning team, and members of staff of Elysian Resort, who demonstrated extreme commitment during the planning process. It is the resort's hope and belief that during the period of the strategic plan implementation, 2021-2026, members will not only take the opportunity to constructively critique and propose realistic ways in which to recast and accelerate the implementation of the plan, but also play their requisite role to ensure that the expectations and targets are set, both achieved and even exceeded. In conclusion, we have come up with a comprehensive 5-year strategy to address the needs of Elysian Resort that will enable us meet our business needs. Our success depends on our ability to generate the necessary resources we need for implementation of the strategic plan, our ability to work together as a team, and our ability to monitor and evaluate the implementation. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much. The GM, we have listened to his remarks. Now we invite, it is good to have a taste of history. Where are we coming from? So we invite Reverend Father David Getao to give us a briefing on the same.
Our guest of honor, Dr. Peter Monga, our Bishop, Right Reverend James Maria Wainaina, Professor Maina Gideon, the Chairman of the Board of Management of this hotel, the GM, Father Maina, priest present, Honorable Mushigi's family, members of the board, and the staff of this facility. Good afternoon. I stand here to present to you a bit of the history of this facility. Elysian Resort, Runda, is a dream come true after innumerable concerted efforts of a number of players, namely the bishop, and also the bishops who are before him, the Catholic Diocese of Muranga, the priests, the Christians of Muranga Diocese, both living within and outside the diocese, the well-wishers, and men and women of great faith in God. Elysian Resort sits on a 5-acre land which was gifted to the diocese by the family of the late Honorable George Mwishigi. The idea of Elysian Resort draws its origins from the initiative to make the diocese self-reliant through establishing an income-generating project on a plot of land given to the diocese by the late Honorable Mwishigi. Initially, around the year 2008, and around that time, there was a desire to do a project that is in line with the church's core mission of evangelization. Some of the economic concepts then considered include a retreat and sabbatical center, residential houses, rental houses, among others. However, in the year 2008, John Kandinojue, who was our apostolic administrator in the diocese, led and mobilized the Christians within the diocese and outside the diocese to raise funds for the Retreat and Sabbatical Center project, which was commonly known as the CDM Nairobi project. And he urged every Christian to contribute 1,000 shillings with the clarion call, every Christian, 1 bag of cement. A lot of awareness and mobilization was done. However, this initiative went through unending challenges. In the following years, the project concept changed from a retreat and sabbatical center to a hotel due to canonical considerations, and the latter idea was adopted, and we all hit the road looking for every possible sources of funding to finance the construction of the hotel at a cost of Kenya shillings 200 million 10. That was the initial target. Among the various ways of funds mobilization used include: 1, donations from parishes, where each parish was allocated a certain amount of money, each according to its strength, and this was done a number of times. Secondly, we held a golf tournament to raise funds. Thirdly, the priests and the bishops contributed generously to this project. Fourthly, we had jubile sales of mugs, cups, lassos, etc. Fifth, well-wishers who generously have contributed to the construction of this facility. Commercial borrowing from Equity Bank, and 7, through Harambes. Lastly, we also had collections from Muranga Diocese diaspora Christians, whom we named chapters. We had the Nairobi chapter, we had another chapter in Nakuru, we had another chapter in Mombasa, and another one in Nyeri. In the year 2013-2014, architectural drawings were done for a retreat center, completely delinked from the sabbatical center concept, which was relocated to 3 Ridges area in Kandara. On 14th of February 2014, we had the groundbreaking event, which was graced by Dr. Peter Monga, who was a guest of honor in the ceremony. And he donated generously the tune of 5 million for the construction of this facility, which gave us a lot of hope at the time when lack of funds was a real challenge. On 28th January 2014, we held the site handing over ceremony to the contractor, Gypsy Civil and Building Contractors Limited, setting on the construction of the current perimeter wall of the hotel. On the 31st of January 2015, our Bishop James Maria Wainaina, presided over a mass to mark the groundbreaking ceremony. And his key message was, we are going to build this facility by faith. So whoever jokes around with the faith is not Elysianist. Construction works continued for about 3 years, up to 2018. And on the 15th of April 2018, we had the opening mass and blessing of our facility by Right Reverend James Maria Wainaina. Prior around this time, we held interviews for the hotel staff. The bishop also nominated the first board of management for the hotel, which is chaired by Professor Gideon Maina, and other members include Jane Michuki, Jane Mugambi, Robert Dabi, James Ngojiri, Father Elias Kabutu, Father David Getau, and Mr. Simon Wachira. Our final product today has the following facilities, all bearing the state-of-the-art condition. 1, 42 self-contained rooms accommodation. 2, state-of-the-art 5 conference halls. 3, a wellness center with a gym, sauna, etc. 4, a well-equipped laundry. 5, a restaurant. 6, a swimming pool. 7, good garden for outdoor events. And 8, a children's park. As I conclude, I mention remarkable persons to be appreciated along this long journey. 1, Right Reverend James Maria Wainaina, for your good visionary and unshakable leadership. You have been on the forefront and a major general in this long and risky journey of realizing the dream of Elysian Resort. 2, the late Honorable George Mushigi, who donated this plot. Together with his family, we acknowledge and appreciate Mrs. Mushigi and family who are here with us today. May God bless you. Priests of the Catholic Diocese of Muranga, the parishes, the parishioners, for their unfailing support and generosity in financing this long-term project. Thirdly, the Finance Council for its wisdom, prudence, diligence, and advice, and their unending support for the diocese in all her financial matters. Fourth, fifthly, CDM friends and well-wishers and all the benefactors. 6, Dr. Munga Peter and the entire Equity Fraternity for your financial support. Thank you, Chairman. The Board of Management of Elysian, led by Professor Gideon Maina. Then the Elysian Resort staff, led by the General Manager, Father Joseph Maina. We also appreciate the good work done by the late Catherine Jambi Kerito, who was the first GM of the hotel. We also appreciate Arklink International International Limited, led by architect David Inyaga, and the construction team, Gypsy Contractors, and all who put their heart in building this facility. Lastly, we acknowledge our esteemed customers for keeping our business busy and honoring our services. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. As we had agreed, we'll give a single clap so that we can move on. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Now I wish to invite in a very, very special way the chair of the board of Elysian so that he can give us some highlights on the strategic plan. So with a clap, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Reverend Father Moses Kagunya. My Lord Bishop, the Right Reverend James Maria Wainaina, the Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Muranga, Dr. Peter Munga, the Chairman of the Diocesan Development Committee, our GM, Father Minor, members of the Board of Management of Elysian present. I can see one, actually two. Invited guests, I can see you, distinguished guests, and in a very special way, the Mushigi family. Members of the management of Elysian Resort, led by, of course, the GM. Members of staff, I can see you well dressed. You have an identity. You look very, very, very nice. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. My Lord Bishop, just allow me from the outset to appreciate your presence here and your inspiration. It takes me back when we had a meeting in your residence and when we agreed on this date together. And you continue to pray for this day. And we appreciate very much that you had to create time from your very, very busy schedule to be here this morning. In a special way, want to appreciate the homily this morning. I think it's quite inspiring for all of us, particularly for us who continue to serve and those who are yet to live for others, to think about it. I think we continue to reflect. It was quite a very challenging homily. Thank you very much. We want also to appreciate the presence of Dr. Peter Munga. He's very busy. When I was in primary school, I was taught a simile, as busy as a bee. Sometimes I think that there are people who are busier than bees. As busy as bees. So we want also to appreciate him for his, unparalleled and unshaken commitment to this country, to human service, and particularly his love for our diocese. We truly, truly appreciate. And when I see the two gentlemen, my Lord Bishop, you allow me to use that, the two gentlemen, we are all inspired for what they have done for our diocese. Having said that, my Lord Bishop, you allow me just to just give some highlights of what this day is all about. The launch of any strategic plan of any organization is a very, very important event in the calendar of that organization. Important because it demonstrates a commitment by that organization to share their path that they need to take, how they need to go that path, the means by which they want to go that path, and the end of which they go on that path. The document that is before you, therefore, is evidence to document in a very special way who we are, our identity, all right? What our vision is and our mission is, what our goals are, and basically where we want to be in the next 5 years. My Lord Bishop and Chairman Munga, allow me just to say that this document is a culmination of a very, very rigorous process. There was a lot of stakeholders consultation. In the first instance, there was at the top where the strategic planners had to meet the finance council because they are interested party, they are the investors, and they really wanted to know what it would mean to have this strategic plan as a means of return of investment. Immediately after that, I remember convening the board. We had an interaction with the consultants so that we are also in a position to actually tell them what we really need. Others, of course, were scaled down staff, heads of departments, by then GM. And therefore, what we are having today is a culmination of a document that has gone through all the stakeholders. Allow me, my Lord Bishop, also to state that even as we launch it today, this is just an event. I am aware, and I had discussed this with the GM, that even before today, it needs to be understood, it needs to be taken to the staff, the HODs, to interrogate. And therefore, they understand this document. Of course, they appreciate that this is a process. It will still continue. But every heads of department seated here, they appreciate everything about this document, both collectively and what is their place in trying to help achieve the intended goals and objectives of this strategic plan. My Lord Bishop, some of the key highlights of this is quite a very, very granular document. It has very, very, very specific issues that we want to achieve. But if you have the document, you realize that the first page, of course, is, we had to get this inspiration from our bishop. And as I said earlier on, his spiritual guidance in all matters remain very, very important. Not just as a trustee, but someone who is always there at every moment to give us guidance. And you can see that. And you can read on your time. The other one, of course, is the message from the chairman of the board, the person speaking to you. And I just want to highlight one of the issues that is very, very, very critical to us. And I'll come back to that. If you look at page 3, we have the situational analysis. And what really happened is basically is trying to look at the universe. When you look at the hotel industry, basically across the world, is basically a bird's eye view of how the hotel industry is, in the country, in the region. And you can see all the way from the confidence, the location, the conferencing, as it were. When you go to page 4, you'll get a lot of challenges that we had to look at, and which, of course, from a bird's eye view, that we need to navigate. And from there, of course, there are certain elements of sustainability on page 6, the growing demand from the middle class, and you can continue to page 7, where we are trying to look at the situational analysis as it is. The most important page is page 8. If you go to page 8, you'll see our philosophy there. This is our DNA, really who we are. And I would really like everybody who comes here, or we would really like everyone who comes here, either to come and patronize as a customer, or who comes here just to walk around or to take a short walk, to appreciate that this resort is built on the tenets of a peaceful and heavenly garden. Wamboi, if you didn't know, Elysian means paradise. So all of us who are here, then we want to have that paradise experience. So we are driven by the respect for rights of all persons, living in harmony and equity with all. And that is actually, to paraphrase from the bishop's message. And therefore, we are guided by the conviction and utmost belief that whoever comes at Elysian to work, patronize, or just a simple visit, he or she shall be a witness that God lives amongst his people. And this is very, very, very important to us. Now, that caption in bold, that he or she shall be a witness that God lives amongst his people, is taken from the bishop's homily on the 15th of April 2018, when we had the first opening of clients. We had mass here, we had all the parishes here, and in his homily, which was very, very well done, he actually hoped, I remember very well in his conclusion, that he hopes and prays that whoever comes here, either to work, you're here to work, either to patronize, that he or she will be a witness that God lives amongst his people. My Lord Bishop, the vision is very clear. It's to be a sustainable model faith-based resort of choice in Nairobi and beyond. And of course, the mission is basically the means by which we're going to achieve our vision, is to unify God's people through a world-class hospitality experience. The values are there. That's our software: competence, integrity, innovation all the time in a very, very unprecedented world. We are aware that the world woke up and COVID was here. So we need to continually be innovative in terms of what we are doing. But also we wish to be very humble and compassionate. And those two words have been spoken during the homily when we're told that every time we don't be judgmental. And if we have to understand people, we must be led by, all right, and love, right, as we're important. The signature, of course, is a resort. Now, I think I want to jump the SWOT analysis because that you can do. But we have done also a pestle analysis. We have done the political, the economic, and the socio-technological, environmental, and legal analysis because we live in a political ecology, an economic ecology, social ecology. The technology is changing day in, day out, even as we speak today, an environmental ecology. And of course, we are guided by certain legal regimes that we have to observe fidelity to. And we have done that very, very, very clearly. And of course, we have now done the SWOT analysis, what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The stakeholders analysis is there, the critical success factors on page 11. And I would just want to come to the organization scorecard because this is very crucial. My Lord Bishop, we have a balanced scorecard, and we have sort of four regimes that we need to look at. We have the financial, we have the customers, we have the people and innovation, and we have the process. And really what we have done is in terms of finance, what are our strategic objective in finance, what are our target, and what really our strategic initiatives for us to achieve 40% of our financial within the scorecard matrix. Of course, we also appreciate that customers are key. Enhancing customer experience, increase customer retention, grow the customer base, and enhance brand positioning. And you can see the target is, of course, 80% customer retention. And of course, there are certain granular, very specific issues that we need to, initiatives that we need to undertake. People are key. Yeah, they're there in terms of whether it's human resources, create a vibrant Elysian culture, and then we have been trying to do that, as I said. This staff are witness to that. We have had various sessions with them. You had consultants trying to create a culture that is going to drive. And as I was saying during the break, my Lord Bishop, we can have one of the best documents, and I remember Wamboy and Mushigi Jr. here were talking about it, that you can have one of the best documents, strategic plan, but if you don't have a culture and a tradition, then many a times you may not go very far. So people are key and staff are key. Then processes, yes. Processes are key. We have mainstreamed the processes. We have a system that is really working. Of course, we have challenges. We have an EPR, that's OPRA. We appreciate the importance of technology in terms of driving, the business. Of course, we have challenges all the time because this process is driven by people. So you can see the nexus between people and processes. You can have a good system or technology, but the people have deficits in terms of value. So these are indispensable. And I think we are trying to look at that. Then we have on page 13, is basically the implementation matrix in terms of we have identified the strategic initiatives and the activities, because these activities are key. And of course, the KPI, the key performance indicators, and by who and timelines are there. And the last one, of course, and that of course is very, very, very key. And those implementation matrix are about, giving life to the scorecard. If I take you back to page 12, you can see finance, we have taken it 40%, customers is 30, people is 20, and processes is 10. The last bit, and you can see it's very, very, very granular, it's very, very specific, the implementation matrix, what we are going to do in terms of finance, increase room occupancy, product diversification, manage cost, refinancing. On customers is identify and promote a hotel theme, unique experience, create and promote loyalty of packages, network with trainers in our companies, network with conferences and event organizers, NGOs, and it's very, very, very specific. On people, draw a recruitment and onboarding plan, align and cascade the strategy, training and development, and this has been going on. As I speak, all this staff had been trained. I think in terms of what the values are for the hotel, and we want them not to memorize, but to live them as it were. And I think, of course, we have also looked at the risk management framework. And when you look at it, we have really tried to differentiate the risks that we have. Some are very critical. For instance, when you look at the risk of governance is very critical in terms of our rating. When you look at credit risk, it's also very critical. Financial and liquidity levels of our institution, it's high. Technological, we have put it as high. Operational risks are also high. When you look at political risk, because we're trying to look at the 2022 general election, we have put it as medium because we don't expect it to, impact so much on our business. We remain hopeful. Legal and compliance, that is still medium. Then reputational is also medium. The strategic is very, very low. And of course, the rating may change depending on the circumstances. So we are very confident that, as I said, that we are going to be in a position to achieve this. So I want to take you to page 2, back to page 2, where we were. My Lord Bishop, if you look at page 2, one of the issues I mentioned is basically our identity. In terms of the highest standards of good governance will be employed, and will be deliberate actions towards realigning the organization culture, effective communication between the resort and stakeholders, and continuous improvement and monitoring and evaluation. What we have done, and I think you have, I mentioned to you this morning, is we're trying to do a lot of rebranding of the resort. And this rebranding is being guided by our identity. And also giving credit to those who have contributed to where we are today. Today, if you go around, today where we are in Hon Mushigi's auditorium, where we're taking Tui, is Dr. Munga's room. Boardroom is Reverend Maria Wainaina. As you walk through that pathway, you get Cardinal Njue. As you go down, you get Bishop Kihara, right? Yeah. And when you go to those rooms, you'll get all our parishes are represented there. And we had Mass here trying to bless all those rooms. So I'm sure if the chairman, Dr. Munga, want to sleep here, I'm sure he will have a bias. He would like to be booked at Tutho, because Tutho is his parish. So would like to go there and sleep there. I am reliably told that during the blessing, Father was very biased towards Gatanga. So he blessed it so much more than any what, more than any other, when he was doing what. So you see there's a lot of connection, isn't it? So we want to rebrand and tamper it with our identity. And I think as we implement the strategic plan, as we navigate this, then I think that will be, it's a process. And at the end of the day, the achievement will be between us. So finally, therefore, I wish to extend my sincere gratitude, my Lord Bishop, to the team that participated in the various stages of the preparation of this strategic plan, from both within and without. I am confident that the team charged with overseeing the implementation of this plan will follow through with the strategies and comprehensively monitor and evaluate their efficacy. Once again, I want to thank you very much for your guidance and support, and your presence too. Thank you very much, everyone. And now it's my humble duty and pleasure to now invite our Bishop, the Right Reverend Bishop James Maria Wainaina, to come and address, and thereafter call upon Dr. Munga to give his remarks. A word of applause for the Bishop. Thank you very much.
One good cup. 1, 2, 3. Yes, thank you. Our guest of honor, Dr. Peter Munga, family of the late George Mwechegi, led by the mother, the wife of the late Honorable George Mwechegi, Chairman of the Board of Management, Professor Gideon Maina, members of the Board of Management here present, our General Manager, Father Joseph Maina, fathers who are here with us, management of Elysian, staff members, guests, my brothers and sisters in Christ, ladies and gentlemen, once again, good afternoon. I'm very delighted once again I say that, because a day like this, it's not an ordinary day because of the events that are taking place. Like I said during the Mass, we are marking, making a milestone. We are saying that we have moved in our institution, in this facility, from the time that we started to this point. We have done a lot, we have achieved a lot, and yet we want to achieve a lot. We see a future that we want to align ourselves to and focus on, so that we may be able to achieve certain targets that are desirable to us. We come here as people of faith. Father David, who was the caretaker of the construction of this facility, when he was speaking from a great wealth of experience, because he was here as every item was coming up, as the facility was being developed. He said that as we were starting, I did say that this facility will be built by faith. And that is what happened. Right from the beginning, we were not very much equipped with a lot of funding. And even the path of the development, though clear because we had the plans that were there in our minds, we still didn't know exactly how to arrive at the destinations that we had set for ourselves. Faith is a very important aspect of our life because it ties us to God. And it makes our lives then not just lives, but lives lived with God. God, as we said, the master planner, then associates us in his plan, so that our plan is not just a plan. We don't, we people of faith, we do not just make a plan that is civil, banal, worldly, but a plan that has divinity in it, that has godliness in it. Because our faith is ours, and it makes us into beings that are really different. We are children of God. And living like children of God changes also the way of life, our way of life, and our way of doing things. So then, we are able to say that this is not just a facility that is aimed at supporting the diocese financially. Although it is not meant to be a pastoral facility, because this is not our diocese, yet we cannot shed off our nature. We are children of God, and even when we serve here, we serve as children of God. We have no two natures, or we are true to what we are, children of God. And that is the reason why our facility has to have a certain orientation of mind, a certain attitude of doing things. When I was writing my message, I quoted the spirit of serving her kinswoman at a very important and crucial time is our spirit, that of serving others, bringing good to the others, and more so, bringing salvation to others. And I would wish then to emphasize this upon the management, the administration and management of this facility, and particularly the staff who are serving people coming in and out, because they are the ones expressing what the diocese is. And they make us, they are the face of our diocese. If God has a master plan for us, the plan that we have set for this facility must be seen as part of that master plan. It is certainly preceded by the strategic plan of our diocese. We are at the beginning of a 5-year period, strategic plan period of our diocese. At the beginning, because it was just last year, it was just this year that we launched our diocesan strategic plan. And for that matter, the strategic plan of this facility follows that. And the strategic plan of our diocese is part of the master plan of God. We align ourselves with the plans of God, the plan God has for us. And we ask ourselves if we are taking on the plan of God or promoting the plan of God. Before then, I call our guest of honor. I wanted to appreciate very much, first of all, the family that enabled our diocese to be able to think about this facility. I've already mentioned the family of the late Honorable George Muchegi, who are here represented by several members of the family, including the wife of the late Honorable George. Then also, I wanted to remember those who are very much involved in the conceptualization of this project, like Cardinal, and Father did well to mention him, Cardinal John Cardinal Jue, and then also the bishops who were before me, and also the Finance Council that thought about an institution, a facility that can support the diocese in its financial financial needs. When it came to funding, many people were involved. We've mentioned our guest of honor, who has always supported us. That particular time when we came for groundbreaking, he supported us with 5 million, like Father said. And he has continued to support us financially and otherwise. And then also all our parishes that have contributed a lot in the financing in the development of this facility. When it comes to construction, surely the company that first of all, the architect, David Nyaga, who conceptualized this facility, and then also the company that we contracted for the construction. They come in the construction. A number of people need to be mentioned in the operationalization of this facility. We have mentioned Madam Catherine Jambi. We also mentioned Robert, who has been here, who has been even before we created the board of management, who was there guiding and supporting us as we were thinking how to operationalize this facility. We feel indebted to them all those who participated in that. And as we continue in the running of this facility, let me thank you, the management, led by the board of management. The chair is here, a few members are here. And then also the GM, General Manager, Father Joseph Maina, and all of you staff members. You are the ones who make this facility to continue and to work as it should. And therefore, I wanted to express my appreciation and gratitude on behalf of our diocese. As we go on in this institution, in this facility, always remember We are children of God. That's what we are. And we must express that in our life. Remember what we were saying, that we must influence other people. And our influence must promote them for what they are, or what they have been made by God to be, children of God. And therefore our work as we serve those who come in and out, it is also along the strategy, the master plan of our God. I now will take this opportunity to invite a guest of honor, Dr. Peter Munga, to talk to us, to tell us a number of things from his wealth of experience, and then also to declare the strategic plan launched. Karibu, Dr. Munga.
With a hearty clap, a better one. No, we give him 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Karibu.
Before I say anything, I would like to assure the audience today that although our Lord Bishop was talking about faith, most likely was talking about different type of faith. The faith that made these things possible was the master key of the success. You know, the master key can open anything. So even this hotel is going to be much bigger than it is. My Lord Bishop, Light Reverend James Maria Oinaina, the Board of Management, Elysian Resort, led by Professor Maina, the management of Elysian Resort, led by Father Maina, members of the Diocesan Development Committee, present, our dear priests who are here, the family of Mr. Late Mushegi, who are represented here by Mrs. Mushegi, and I'll ask her to stand so that you can see her. Stand, please. You can see. Because if it were not for them, this facility would not have been possible. My Lord Bishop, I'm honored this afternoon to be the chief guest on this occasion when we launch the Elysian Resort Strategic Plan 2021 to 2026. I have been part of the Elysian story since its inception and even before. Therefore, it gives me a lot of fulfillment when I stand here to celebrate the next phase that will shape what we all dreamt about, of this result. My Lord Bishop, ladies and gentlemen, a strategic plan is a very important tool of management. It is indeed a blueprint that will go on to guide and give direction on where you intend to be in the next 5 years. In other words, you have now sketched your road to success, and you keep on checking whether you are still on track and whether you are still following that road or not. Particularly the management needs to be very conversant with the contents of the development plan. What I didn't hear when the chairman and the general manager were speaking here, they did not promise us when they would give us dividend, which is very, very important. Most importantly, it is describe the means to get where you want to be. It also describes how you are going forward. This is a very important stage of our development, because we now need to professionally manage our resources if we are to get maximum returns on our investment. The Diocese of Murang'a has invested in a very rare investment that no any other diocese that I know of, other than probably Italy, where there is Holy Father, where they have invested in hospitality, in hotel, in this type of management. It's only us, the Diocese of Murang'a, who have ventured to go into this area of investment. And we have created, therefore, very many opportunities for our young people for employment. I think all these people are employed by this hotel, aren't you? Without this investment, where would you be? Just tell me. Tell me, don't be shy. You will not be a maid somewhere. I know you'd still be working. But these facilities has created a lot of employment. And that's what the government keeps on saying, that we invest so that we can create opportunities for our youth. Although now during the campaign, politicians go around telling Kenyans, particularly the young people, that if they are elected, they'll create employment for them. I'm not sure that these utterances carry any guarantee that they'll give, unless they invested, unless they ask Kenyans to invest in this type of facilities, in other industries where they will employ people. And therefore, the work of the government that is nothing else other than to provide the right environment for investment. I wish to note that this result is not any other investment. It is one of the major flagship projects of the diocese, and we have no choice but to ensure it succeeds. Yes, if we don't succeed in this one, it will bring down all the other investments of the diocese, because it's a flagship project which is supposed to make money in the right way and make a lot of money and give dividend to the bishop so that at least he can pay for the cost of running the diocese and unleash our Christian. And we have no choice but to make it succeed. I therefore wish to ask the board and the management to ensure that the dream of founding fathers is not only realized, but it is also bypassed over to generations to come in our beloved diocese. What we are saying here is that we should see the 20th generation to come after us. This investment will still be there and it still be owned by the Diocese of Murang'a. Therefore, take care management that you're able to pay your creditors, because if you didn't do so, you'll be auctioned. And therefore, it will not be there. And The late Mushegi will be turning in his grave. That happened. And we would hate him to turn round in his grave. This investment need also to be seen as a major vehicle towards the transformation of our diocese. It's a special vehicle meant to ensure that we become financially independent in order to sustainably manage our affairs. As a Catholic diocese of Murang project, we need to learn to run it guided by ethos and values of what defines us. In this regard, we need to safeguard our identity as a result by living up to our mission of unifying God's people through our world-class hospitality experience. Only then we'll be in a position to be sustainable model of faith based result on choice in Nairobi and beyond. We would like this one to be a result not like any other. It will be the result of choice by customers coming from all over the world, particularly when the sky is open. We need to aggressively market ourselves so that we can be paid, not by Kenyan shillings now, but by dollar. The management. You know, I noticed the other day that Kenya government and the government of the UK have signed an agreement for nurses, Kenyan nurses, to go and work in UK. May I tell you, my dear young people, the next opening is going to be that of hospitality. So the moment you excel here and get the necessary experience, you see jobs being advertised online for you to go and work, not in Saudi Arabia, but in the Western world. And if you go to Saudi Arabia, then you're going to be employed in a more respectable place with an address and with an identity. So nothing bad would happen to you. My Lord Bishop, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to learn of the value that will continue to guide the result in the next 5 years and beyond. The values of competence, integrity, innovation, humility, and compassion that shall be the software on which we are going to serve the people of God. I dare say that we are not just going to serve our clients food, tea, or accommodation, but the way we are going to do it, we'll tell the world who truly we are. That taste, that tea, that accommodation will be different from where else. People prefer to come and sleep here. They'll be more comfortable here than their homes. Of course, when they spend their night here, they'll pay us. Finally, I wish to appreciate the continuous spiritual guidance that we continue to get from our Lordship Bishop and all the prayers that he does for us and all the prayers that comes from our beloved priests to see that we succeed in this endeavor. And with those few remarks, I now launch the strategic plan, which is here, 2021 to 2026, with pressure. Thank you. I'm going to there. Oh, thank you. Sorry.
So we now wish to invite our guest of honor in a special way with the bishop, so that our strategic plan is put in a very nice place, because it's a very special document for us. So to open the place and cut the ribbon for us, because that marks the opening of it. And we will invite the chief guest together with the bishop to proceed to the place, and then we will stand.
So we will do it in style. I think the moment we've all been waiting for is finally here. Are we excited? Are we excited? If you're excited, say yay. So we request you to be handed over a scissors. But before you cut it open, just have the scissors, Daktari. There is a scissors right here. But before you cut it, we'll do a countdown, okay? We'll do a countdown from 5 all the way to 1. Then Dr. Munga, don't cut it now. At the count of 1, that's when you cut it, okay? So we do a countdown from 5 all the way to 1, then we cut it. Are we ready? Are we ready? So at the top of our voices, can we get started? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Every hustler getting paid. Where the hustle go come the pay. Your own in no go take. Amen. If you don't find work, do your own. God self go do his own. And flesh go cover bone. Amen. Amen. If you believe it, say amen. If you believe it, say amen. If you believe it, say amen. 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 Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Sister where one man receives until where they find begin. One day you go born twins. Amen. Amen. They're not where don't losing job. Landlord come they do like God. One day you go be landlord. Amen. Amen. Good news go locate you. Watch and see it no go take. If you believe it, say amen. No. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Long life go follow you. Strangers go favor you. Great men go honor you. Amen. Amen. One day you go sign the check. Oh. You self go drive that Benz. Oh. This life go still make sense. Oh. Amen. Your children go make you proud, oh. Bad people no go pull you down, no. One day you go run this town, no. Amen, amen. You self go spray me money, baby go call you honey. You self go host the party. Amen, amen. Dangote go be your friend. Otedola go be your friend. Adenuga go be your guy. Amen, amen. Elubelu go be your guy. Abdusamad go be my guy. Rabbi, you go be my guy. Amen, amen. Your life no go end in shame. Your business go bring you gain. If you believe it, say amen. Amen, amen, amen.
Great. So this is great. I didn't know you danced. So very well. I request that you all sit. So it has been a great day, and we want to come to the conclusion of it. And we will do two things, two small items. We will do a vote of thanks, and we will ask. In the vote of thanks, we will have two persons who say a word. We will invite Mrs. Mwichiri to say a word in a minute, and then we will invite Robert on behalf of the BUM to move a vote of thanks. After that, a prayer. Then I will tell you where next. So at this moment, I want to invite Mrs. Mwichiri. Let us give her a clap. Everybody has not woken up. A good one. Another one. Now she's coming, so we can give her 1, 2, 3. We are moving. Thank you.
My Lord Bishop, Maria Wainaina, Dr. Munga, the chief guests, Father Maina, Father Sheridan, the chairman, Professor Adrian, all protocols observed. Good afternoon. It's my great pleasure that I've been given this opportunity. And I'll say a very few things because I know I'm doing it in the last end of the speeches. But you know who are at the cross? Who were at the cross? Women. You don't know? The men were not there. So thank you very much for making me contribute to this, because we were there at the cross. The crucified, the women were there at the cross. I'm the chairlady of Consolata Shirai, CWA, for the last 13 years. And I praise the Lord that they keep on returning me. Even when I went into politics, they came back, they returned me to their chair. And I thank the Lord for giving me that opportunity to serve the Lord in that manner. I like talking about this good gentleman called George Mushegi, my late husband, who gave me beautiful children, those who are there, and others who are overseas, 2 of them. And we were living here, this was our home, and they never knew any other place as their home. I was telling the bishop something he didn't, I have never told him, and doctor and professor, how we moved from here. You know, like the children of Israel, they were told a night before that you only take your clothes. You remember? My husband told us that pack your clothes, we are going somewhere. We had bought our home where we live, but we thought that was for business. So we thought this was going to be our home, permanent home. These children were small. They started taking their toys, whatever, and put them in a bag. And then we were told to come out. We were all put in our different vehicles, and we were taken to our current home. And we were told that is no longer going to be your home. And we said, whose home is it going to be? Then he said, I am going to tell you. So that afternoon, he broke the news to us, and he told us anybody with objection can come forward and tell me why I should not do it to the Muranga Diocese. From Yeri, and Bishop Kaido was sleeping in our place most of the times. Over the place, and some of the priests, the ones who are older than this, were there. Father Boshi, and the rest, they were all there, and the witnessed. It gives us a joy that his name still lives. And we thank you very, very much, the management, that you thought of naming this hall on George Mushi. Just to remember the deeds you do to people, you always remembered. And he said, there's nothing I'll go with. Only that my best is good, and you know it. It will be shown account of what I have done. What account that I gave home. God told me about 2 months ago, but most of all, look for the bishop, James Maria Wainaina, to come and give me the general absolution. And you know, God granted him that. I got the bishop went his way. Just by luck, it was not by luck, by God's plan. He was in Nairobi. He told me, give me 25 minutes. I'll be at Tarak. Bishop, I never forget that moment. It made me shed tears. That's 25 solution. And after that, meet me in heaven. And I always believe he's in heaven. I never believed in souls in paradise. I home. Wow. I have been sick for 13 years, and there is nothing else I do. I go to mass every day, and I recite our mother's prayer. Hail Mary, full of grace, so that she can meet me at the gate of heaven. Imagine being given an opportunity to say those things. Don't you think it is a privilege? Yes. Do well your strategic plan for yourself and for the business. You are strategic, a good person, care for the poor, and then you meet the others who have done that before. He came here with a photograph of my husband, which he would like to place somewhere so that people do not ask who is he is, who is this Honorable George Mushegi. He was an MP for 20 years from Ranga, Kandara, and he gave people water up to their homesteads. Those who come from want
to receive.
Sorry, protocol.
Yeah.
Yes. Come.
Yes. Perhaps, yes.
Let them come. The other 2 hours. He's need to see them.
Let's come from there.
Yeah.
Yes. I want you to capture that. So we give a clap. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. One, two, three. So that's thank you very much.
Dr. Peter Munga, Bishop, Reverend James Maria Wanana, and the GM, Father Minor. Welcome. I wasn't expecting to speak today, so if I'm a little bit unprepared, please forgive me. I've always been very honoured to be associated with this resort, and it's allowed me to make many new friends. And as you get older in life, and I'm probably one of the older people in this room, you realise that what is important more than anything else is relationships. And I'm very pleased to have been associated with this resort, which has allowed me. And I've looked at the strategic plan. It's a slim document, ideas, concepts, and objectives. For those of you who are going to be implementing it, I would say do 3 things. Follow what is written in here, because it is very important. 2, keep faith with God. And 3, support each other as a team. That way we'll be successful. Sorry, when I introduced people, I forgot to say hello to the family of the Honourable Mashidi, who I had the great pleasure of meeting earlier. Sorry for leaving you out. It's all a part of being unprepared, and that's my excuse. So for everybody who supported this plan, helped create this plan, and there was a lot of work went into it, and who are going to implement this plan, I would like to propose a vote of thanks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Robert, for moving the vote of thanks in that way. So we are grateful. Now the last thing, before I say the last thing, invite the bishop for prayer to close this sitting. After this, we are invited for lunch in the restaurant or even outside there. We made a choice where we want to be, either in the restaurant or at the tent. There is a tent outside. With that, now I invite my Lord Bishop to close the sitting with prayer and blessing.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, we are grateful. Lord, you've given us a lot of joy as we have launched the strategic plan for this facility, Elysian Resort. You have brought us this far, and we are grateful. You have a lot ahead of us, in the time to come, and particularly in the period of the strategic plan. We ask that you continue to strengthen us to do what we are required to do so that we may achieve what we have said before us, each one of us. Bless our activities, bless our life, bless what you have given us, Lord, this facility, Elysian Resort, that it will continue, Lord, to give and to achieve for the reason for which it was made. And now that we are going to take something that you prepared for us to eat, yes, that you bless it.
In our lives. We ask this through Christ. May Almighty God bless you, the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Tumsifu Yesu Kristo.